Hello, I'm Reese Everly Lawless, and this is Reese Reacts. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an author of gay romance and fantasy, and I'm also a big nerd. I am also back from my holiday. Literally came back at 3 a.m. I've had about 4 hours of sleep. Then I had to pick up my dog from the kennels, and I have to pick up my cat later on from my friend. And yeah, I am a bit red, but hopefully it won't show. I caught a bit of the sun on the last day of all days. So yeah, I am, fresh from holiday and looking rough. But the season finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi is here, and I am ready for it. I started this show really excited, and as the episodes went on, my excitement kind of dwindled until I don't even care for this show anymore. I'm honest. I'm just being honest. I know it's got a sentimental value for some people, and they do play a lot on the nostalgia in this show. I don't know if it's because I only watched the movies and kind of like got into them very recently, that I don't feel that connection with Obi-Wan. I assume someone who's grown up with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Star Wars films, and have kind of immersed themselves in the franchise would probably feel different. Maybe feel different, but I think the writing in this show has been so weak that they kind of gave the reins to Reva. She's holding the show together basically, because Obi-Wan is such a reluctant hero that even we've been through 5 episodes and he's still a reluctant hero, and I find that hard to relate to, and I think a lot of people also find that hard to relate to, or not to relate, but to invest in the character when they're basically resistant to everything that happens. They have no agency in what happens to them. They have no initiative, no motive, and basically kind of like go with the flow, which is what feels like Obi-Wan has been doing this whole show. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they wrap this up. I feel like they've got so much to tell, but at the same time not enough. So it's a 50-minute episode, I've already checked. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens and how they wrap this up, because I can't see, because we've been going through, I've been saying this from the second episode, I think, that it feels like this show has no anchor. We don't know the point of the show, and when you don't know the point of the show, you don't know how it's going to wrap up, which I guess is a good thing because it can be a surprise. But I mean, in storytelling, you kind of have to give clues and to take the viewer on a journey. And I think as a new viewer, and I think a lot of the people watching Obi-Wan Kenobi are fans, but also they're trying to lure new viewers with these shows, and all the new movies that they do, which is natural. I think they wouldn't invest in that character because he doesn't take control of his own destiny in this show. So he's very I feel he's very different to the Obi-Wan Kenobi we've met in the movies. But yeah, excited to see how they wrap this up. I am excited to be done with the show. I do love Reva, so I think at least we got her out of this whole thing, and I hope we see more of her, and that she turns to the right side, to the good side. Although she's kind of interesting as a villain as well. Yeah. It's very hot in here. It's very it's boiling hot, let's just say, in the UK. And apparently they were doing some work on my flat while I was away, and they left the heating on slightly, so that's good. So I've got all the windows open, I've got a fan on, and I hope I don't melt. I hope I can get rid of the background sounds and the white noise, but if not, I apologize. It's just too hot to close the window. So there might be background noises. I can hear a Hoover. I don't know if you can. And yeah, basically, just thank you for thank you for still watching, even with all that. I do have to say that I think my editing process does eliminate some of those sounds, but if it doesn't, I just apologize in advance. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
May the force be with you.
Tala's death was so unnecessary. Considering how they framed the scene, it was so unnecessary, so stupid even, I would say, because she had so much time to get from where she was back to behind the door. It was just such a pointless death. I was watching it again during my editing, when I was editing the episode, and my reaction, and it was just so stupid.
If he's found you, if he's learned of the children, I'll head to Tatooine.
See, Reva will figure out that these are Darth Vader's children, because she was a child. She was a youngling when Padme was pregnant. So surely she would know. She can figure it out by putting together the clues. To be honest, they've made her way too smart in this show, so she probably will figure it out just because. She won't even need clues. How is she still so healthy? I mean, she had a lightsaber go through her chest, and she's still, cash. Also, how did she escape? Like, she was in Jabim like 2 seconds ago. There was no ship. Because I assume the Grand Inquisitor would have taken her ship back. So how did she get to Tatooine without a ship and while she's injured? Oh, I hate when they take such shortcuts that you need to literally pause the show and figure out, what did I miss from the last episode? Did I miss anything? Or how would it make sense that she went from point A to point B, because they didn't show me any clues as to how that would have happened. And I mean, come on. Yeah, okay.
We're not going to make it to Tessenobi. Motivator shot.
I think I figured out why I'm not as invested in this show as I am with Ms. Marvel. And I think it's because this feels contrived, almost like it feels forced, and they've completely removed. It feels like they've completely removed the emotion out of the entire show. So they don't take moments to get us to relate to the character and then invest in that character's journey. And I'm not just talking about Obi-Wan. I'm talking about I'm talking about this guy, whose name I can't even remember. I'm talking about Tala. I'm talking about any character that they've shown us, that as a secondary character that they've shown us that we're supposed to care about, and then we don't really, because we don't know who they are. We don't know what their motivations are. We don't know anything about them. They're just there to move the plot forward. They're just the plot armor, and it feels like this whole show is plot armor to basically get us from episode 3 to episode 4 in the movies, which was something we didn't really need. But they could have said a much better story. They could have gotten a story that was so essential that you watch it to understand how Obi-Wan and how Darth Vader got to the point where they are. But they gave us something subpar, I think. And I know I'm being really negative in this episode. It might be that I'm tired from my flight, but I have had a lot of time to contemplate this show and where it's going and how it's been dealing with things. And I feel like we haven't really connected with any characters, not even Obi-Wan. Even like there are moments when he and Leia, for example, bonded over Obi-Wan knowing her mother and or seeing Padme in her, and those were sweet moments, but they were not enough to get me personally to care what happens to him. It feels like he's not Obi-Wan. It feels like he's just a character that is supposed that pretending to be Obi-Wan, and they've literally given us no emotional impact in any of the episodes, other than moments that felt forced. Because even Reva's revelation felt Reva's revelation was chilling, but she contributed that information without needing to. She just all of a sudden dropped her armor, dropped her facade, and told him everything. That's not how people speak. That's not how people operate in the real world. And they do use a lot of tell and not show, and I think it impacts the show a lot, and the writing on the show. The emotional beats are missing, and I'm trying to remember. There was another show that had the same problem, or maybe it was a movie, but I can't remember if it was a Star Wars movie or a completely different show. But I watched that. I remember watching that and feeling absolutely no connection to any of the characters. And this is the same thing with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm trying to remember if it was the sequel trilogy or the prequel trilogy or what it was. I think it was the prequel trilogy. Yeah, I don't know. It's so badly written. I can't get over that fact, and I'm sorry to those who love it. I mean, feel free to love it. I understand if you do. We can't all like the same things, but it's just such bad writing, and such a you bring back Ewan McGregor, who's such a big actor. He breathed life to Obi-Wan Kenobi after Alec McGuinness, and you kind of give him a subpar script to work off, and that's such a shame. It's such a shame. Oh, young Luke.
I'm not that patient.
No, wait! You can't just leave me here!
I'm the one that Vader wants. If I go, he will follow.
I'm not letting you!
Go on, Leia. Tell him. He keeps.
This will give him that time. You've spent 10 years protecting the Jedi. This is my chance to return that favor.
But we're so close.
Broken. You know that.
This show frustrates me so much. They keep using the same the same what's the word? They keep using the same plot over and over again. Obi-Wan is in danger. He knows Vader wants him, so he decides to leave them to get to Vader, so he saves everyone else. That happened on the last episode, and that happened in the episode 3, and did it happen in episode 2? I can't remember if it happened in episode 2, but it's happening. It's been happening in every single episode where he wants to sacrifice himself, and I get why he wants to sacrifice himself, because he feels guilty, he feels responsible for who Vader became, but that's not the way to do it, because if you keep repeating the same plot and it never goes anywhere, then it doesn't have any impact. At least use it once or twice, but make a difference. Oh, this is so frustrating. He has absolutely no agency in this series, other than trying to sacrifice himself to save other people, to appease his guilt for what happened with Vader. But even that one bit of agency that he does get, I feel absolutely no emotional connection to. It just feels empty. I think that is because the show has no stakes, because we know what happens already. We know what happens to these two characters, that they don't kill each other until episode 4, so it steals away so much, and I don't know how they couldn't see it when they were writing it. There's definitely a better story there, but they just didn't want to tell it, I guess. It's just... I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I was hoping for so much more with this show. I remember when I did the first episode, and it was like my first video, YouTube reaction, and it was so exciting, and the production value was great, and everything was awesome. And now with episode 6, I just can't ignore the script anymore, and I can't. And even the budget, you know, is obvious in some points, and the directing is not the best. It just, I don't know if this is the show we deserved. But if you like it, like, no offense to you at all, it's just, this is how I feel, and if you don't feel the same way, that's absolutely fine. If you love this show, feel free to love it. I mean, it's amazing. I know I love some shows that other people don't like at all, but you know, that there's nothing wrong with that, and if you enjoy it, that's great, that's fantastic. I think being a writer for so long and reading so much about story structure and character development and writing those things as well, has just made me super analyze certain things. And I do realize that, you know, other shows may have faults. Like I do realize Ms. Marvel's not perfect, but I feel like they've done such a great job of making me invest in the character and relate to the character that I am willing to suspend disbelief a bit more and kind of bypass the faults with the script that I might see. Whereas here, I feel like yes, I know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I should be like, yay, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you know, he was one of my first crushes when I was a kid. But they've done such a bad job of bringing him back to screen that I can't even feel sorry for him anymore. I just don't relate. I don't invest. I'm not invested in the character. Who I am invested, however, is Reva, and it's her show, and I'll keep saying that until the day I die. It's her show, and I am invested in her character. That's why I feel like we're wasting time. This whole Obi-Wan plot is just so pointless. You know, I just don't understand. I'm waffling on now, and I need to watch the episode. So, okay, that's all I'm gonna say in terms of the show. I'm gonna try and enjoy the rest of it, and if I have any comments, I'll try and keep them short, because I'm pretty sure by this point my reaction video is going to be like an hour long, and most of it's going to be me complaining that this show is bad. Alright. Yeah, let's go.
I find she needs to be given space. You must promise me that you'll get her home, Hodja, as soon as I'm in the clear. You have my word. Although I know the word of a liar and a fake Jedi may not mean much to you, it's good enough for me.
See, if they spent a little more time with Hodja, I would feel a little bit more awe at his words. But Obi-Wan has spent most of the show passing him on to other people, so...
I'm not leaving my home. At least here we have a chance.
I'm sorry, but Reva managed to get from Jabim to Tatooine in like 2 seconds, and she can't get from the guy that gave her the information about where Owen is to Owen's farm in less than, what, an hour? Why is she not there? I don't understand. That's weird. But good on Beru for like standing up for her family. I like that, because I don't think we ever got much from her in episode 4, because, you know, they died kind of like in the first act. But she's been very what's the word? She's been very like in the background in the prequel as well, when they showed her, and yeah, it's good to see that she's got some fight in her. Is that a rifle, like a real rifle that shoots bullets? Because that doesn't look like it shoots lasers.
It's empty.
But I wasn't going to give you a blaster, Leia. You're 10 years old.
Those moments are sweet, but they're not enough for me. And I think because we're kind of stuck with the stories that we've got. Like we're stuck with episode 4 and all of the episodes basically. Trying to say a story in between though. I mean, saying stuck sounds wrong, but because we have all these stories, they're trying to tell a story in between those things. And because we know where they were and where they end up, there's not a lot of freedom you can have with that. Because imagine if this was young Leia and you had the freedom to make her different because of this experience. And I do love the original trilogy. I think it's the best out of the 3 trilogies. Obviously, I do love her, but wouldn't it be amazing if we could, if we could explore a different timeline, let's say? Because I would love to see more of Leia, but I know that we can't really use her again because she doesn't meet anyone from the main characters that we know until she's 20 years old. So it's like, I want more of this, but I know we can't get more of that. I know we can't get baby. I know we can't get young Luke, and I know we can't get young Leia to meet earlier and to become rebels, and this. It's like they're trying to tell these stories, but maybe they should have used different characters for these stories, because then they could have explored those characters better. But then again, we do have that attachment to Leia and Luke, and I guess that's what they're banking on. But I think Leia has done such a smashing job in this whole show. She's only 10 years old. I don't know how old the actress is, but she's phenomenal, and she's been doing such a great job for considering her age. And I would love to see more of her. And you can see the potential in her, potential of seeing like young Leia and growing into a fighter, into a general, into all of these things that she eventually becomes. And I wish we'd see more of her, but we can't really, because she needs to go back to Alderaan and grow up to be a princess, No, it doesn't. See what I'm talking about? It doesn't end today. We're not even going to see Qui-Gon, are we?
There are not many leaders left. People follow you.
Do they? I mean, we don't even know the character. I still don't get the plan. Is the plan for him to go to Vader?
There's one life form aboard.
I know I promised that I wouldn't waffle, but I have 2 questions. So, is his plan to leave the ship so that they go after him? But they said they could fix the drive, but they needed more time. So, is he going to buy them time, or is he just sacrificing himself? And why would you think that they would just go after him, considering there's like a whole fleet that's after them? They could literally go after both of them. Maybe I missed something. Second of all, why are these idiots, the Empire, shooting lasers when they can see they've got a shield on the ship that that just stops them from getting any damage done to them? It's like, is the more they shoot, the more that their shields will deteriorate? Because that's a bit. Why did she wait until nighttime to get there? This better be good. They've been building up to this moment the whole show, so. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. That had more impact than what he gave her. He gave her Tala's belt. because we've come to know Lola and, you know, gone on a journey with her and Leia, whereas with Tala there was literally not much of an emotional attachment other than Tala's story in the last episode before she died.
Then you will die.
Let's see. Already this is so much better than the one we got in episode 3, so that's good. The lightsaber looked weird there. It looked like one of the fake ones that fans have. What are you doing, Reva? Why are you here? Why are you so late? What do you want? I love the sound of the lightsabers. It's so cool. Oh.
Your strength has returned.
Yeah, we don't know how, but it has.
And that is why you will always lose.
What? Wow. Oh shit. Okay, I did not expect that. Oh wow. That was something.
You have failed, Master.
Come on, Obi. Reva, what the fuck are you doing? What the hell's going on? It's so dark. I can't see a thing. Oh, has he been holding it like that? There we go. Nice one. Gosh, it's so dark, I can't see much. And also I've got the window blinds up, so that was probably a mistake. Wait, did he not hear the rocks like flying away? Ooh. Oh. Wow. Go on, Obi-Wan. Ow. 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 That hurts me. I wish we could see Hayden Christensen under that mask though, because like that's the whole point of bringing him back, isn't it? Can't see. Sake. Oh wow. Okay, I did not see that coming. I mean, I knew that we would get a fight, but this fight is epic. Okay, I have to admit. Okay, I'm getting chills from just watching this. So, okay, this episode's getting better.
Anakin.
He's gone. Anakin's gone, mate.
Anakin's gone.
I should have written this show, although I would have done a better job to be fair.
I'm sorry, Anakin.
What are you sorry for? He turned to the dark side. It wasn't your fault.
I am not your failure,
Obi-Wan.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Oh. I mean, he's right.
The same way I will destroy you.
Yeah, he's completely gone.
Goodbye,
Darth. That was weird. I have to admit, I really liked this whole sequence. Even though I knew that neither of them was going to die, that was quite something. That was quite something. I guess an escape pod would have a different drive, but if the main ship's super drive, whatever it's called, I don't know, hyperdrive, was broken, why couldn't they use the escape pod's hyperdrive if it was still functional? Surely they're linked. Surely they're part of the same ship. So, am I overthinking this? Oh, poor Luke. You're not gonna kill him, Reva, come on. He's just a child. He doesn't deserve the same fate. You're not Darth Vader. I wonder if they're gonna give us a Reva versus Obi-Wan fight. But I don't know how they would do that because already Reva seems to be changed. Can't see much, but I can see Reva carrying Luke. I think I have to put the blinds down for Miss Marvel because this is just too silly. Do they think he's dead? Whew. I did not expect to cry in this episode. Especially after I trashed it.
I couldn't do it.
You have given them peace. You have honored them.
Have I become him?
No. You have chosen not to.
Oh. I'm not surprised it's Reva's scene that I'm crying with because she's got the most development. What happened to her injuries though? How is she still alive?
Now you are free. We both are.
Yeah.
We will destroy everything in our path until he.
You had
is
him and you
found.
lost him, so
You seem anxious. Perhaps your feelings for your old master have left you weakened.
oh look, a city made of penises. Oh, she's dressing herself. She's so cute. She's so cute. Oh, the gloves that she bought. Oh.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to want to change a few things.
Of course she does. I thought Tala was wearing the holster on the other side, so it looks weird. Oh.
Lola!
Who am I to separate a young lady from her droid?
Oh, is really? She's not gonna say hi to Obi-Wan? No, like okay. Why did she not acknowledge Obi-Wan? That's so strange.
What'll you do now?
I don't know.
This is weird.
What do you think I should do?
I think you should sleep.
Both were exceptional people who bore an exceptional daughter.
And a brother. And a son.
Goodbye, princess. May the force be with you.
Whew. Okay, that was emotional. Okay, I guess maybe they don't erase their memories at the end. I mean, I knew it sounded silly when I was editing the last episode that they couldn't just erase people's memories, especially someone who was strong with the Force. With the Force, erase their memories with the Force. But I was like, I'll keep it in because it's funny. This episode went from meh to great, and I wish all the episodes had been like this a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot. The writing on this episode is much better. I'm actually really enjoying this episode. It started off a little bit weird, but it got so good. Oh, he's so cute. The poor thing has not had any lines whatsoever. That was good. Now, where is Reva? Is she going to be a post-credit scene? Is that a ghost? Qui-Gon! Liam Neeson! Hey! I thought we weren't gonna see him. Oh my god!
I took you. I was always here, Obi-Wan. We just were not ready to see.
Oh.
Come on. We've got a ways to go.
Oh. I can't believe there's no post-credit scene. Wow, that was not what I expected. I am pleasantly surprised, and I kind of feel bad for trashing the show earlier. Although I do think what I've said does still stand. It doesn't change the fact that I don't think it changes the fact that episodes 2 to 5 were not great at all, and the story that they said in those 4 episodes, well 6 episodes, but in those 4 episodes was not very good. But it got us here. That was I really loved the lightsaber fight. I loved the confrontation between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it kind of makes episode 3's confrontation a little bit better, because we see that he was a weak man that couldn't face Darth Vader because he was still seeing him as Anakin, and he had abandoned the Force because of it. So that makes a little bit more sense now. However, I wish they'd made it a bit more, not clearer per se, but more of they focused a lot more on the emotional impact that it had on Obi-Wan, because it felt like you have to watch episode 6 to understand why that moment was so important. I really loved Reva's scenes. They were emotional. I can't believe they didn't show us any inkling, any kind of not even a tiny little scene of what we can expect from her in the future. She decided to stop, to like quit being an Inquisitor, like she decided to quit that life. She decided to stop hunting Jedi. She decided to stop trying to avenge the death of her friends, but they didn't give us any clues as to what might happen next. And I think that might be because they don't know what they're doing with her next. But if this was Marvel, they would know what they're doing with her next, or have at least an inclination, an idea of where she might appear next, and give us a little taste. And I don't think they can do that here, because I don't think they know what they're doing with her yet. But that's exciting. I'm excited to see her again. I'm sure we will see her again. This last episode was it was good. I liked it. I really liked it. Yeah, I think that makes my impression of the overall show a little bit better than if it had been a crap last episode. I like that they gave us those emotional moments with Reva, with Obi-Wan and Luke and Leia. Although the Leia scene was weird. There was a lot of nostalgia in this episode, and it hit the right notes for the most part, I think. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, a lot of problems with the writing. Episodes 3 to 5 come to mind specifically. Episode 2 as well. So I think episode 1 and 6 were the strongest ones. Episode 2, it was okay. Episode 3 was... No, I didn't like episode 3. Episode 4... What happened in episode 4? Episode 4 I liked, but in the grand scheme of things, it felt a bit silly. And episode 5, I think the only exciting thing that we got was like the ending with a plot twist, and I think that was the most exciting part. I don't know. Okay. So I know I've been negative a lot about this show in the last few reaction videos, but it had its good moments in every episode. I think there was definitely a lot of meat there that in the story, but they only gave us like a little bite of it, and they could have done a lot more considering they brought Ewan McGregor back, they brought Hayden Christensen. They could have done a better job. Um, so yeah, all the episodes had some strong moments. Some episodes were stronger than the others, and I still think that the point of the show was not clear. I think the fact that he lost Leia twice, or was it 3 times, was silly, and it kind of made the story feel disoriented a little bit. So I think, and I think the major issue with the show was how reluctant he was as a hero, and the fact that they waited until the very last episode to make him the Obi-Wan Kenobi that we meet in episode 4. And I get why they would have done that, but I think the fact that he was so reluctant and he was so depressed, traumatized, and didn't take any initiative until the very last episode, or it felt like that's how it felt to me. Like, when I think back to all the episodes without really analyzing every episode, it felt like he had no agency. Obviously, I know he had some. I know he made decisions. He went back to get Leia and all that. So he did. But when I think back on the show, I feel like he had no agency whatsoever. And he kind of like went along for the ride, and he had to go and save Leia, and then he had to go save her again, and then he had to save the rest, so he would sacrifice. So it didn't feel. It felt like he was forced into these situations, and he had no say in them. And I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing. I'm overanalyzing, I think. I don't know. I also, don't forget that while I'm watching these while I'm recording and trying to speak my thoughts. So maybe sometimes I miss moments or I miss things, and I'm also watching them on a smaller screen than I usually do. So it might be that I rewatch this show and I feel like, oh yeah, this is actually much better, and I can relate much more with the characters and invest in them. But these were my impressions from watching all the episodes once, and maybe a little bit while I was editing. From only watching the episodes once, and while I'm recording reaction videos and trying to remember everything all at once. So if I do decide to rewatch the show, and it changes my mind a little bit, I might do another video that kind of offers my new thoughts on it. But we'll see. I don't have any plans at the moment to rewatch it. If I do, I will let you know, I guess. But yeah, that's all for today. I'm off to watch Miss Marvel now, because I can't wait for the show. If you like this video, please hit the like button so I know you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!